If you're struggling to get new clients to your soccer academy or your soccer private coaching business, there's a chance that your problem is not necessarily that you're not reaching enough parents or generating enough leads. It might be because you have a bad business model for scale. Okay, after working with dozens of soccer academies and private coaching businesses across the US and Canada, I can tell that the ones that scale up to multiple six figures, sometimes even seven figures, have some things in common, and that's exactly what I'm going to be sharing here in this video. So there's two main things that we will cover in this video. The first one is, how do you get customers in the first place, right? How do you acquire new customers to your business? And the second one is, how do you actually set up your programs and package your offer to maximize how much a customer's worth to your business and how long they stay with you? Because at the end of the day, those are the only two ways you can actually grow a business. You either get more customers or you make your current customers worth more. That's it. Those are the two only things that you can do to grow your business at the end of the day, right? So let's start with the first one, which is customer acquisition, how to get new people in the door, right? So in any business, but especially in the soccer academy, soccer coaching business, you want to make it easy for someone to become your customer. Okay, I see a lot of soccer programs out there having a big barrier of entry for someone to join your program. And I'm not talking about, for example, if you're a private coaching business or an academy that only works with performance players or high-level players, competitive players, to start accepting non-competitive players. It's not what I'm talking about here. It's just the parents have to go through a hassle in order to actually enroll into your programs. So let me give you an example in practice here. So let's imagine, for example, you're running an ad on Facebook or Instagram targeting parents in your specific location, and you're saying, hey, we have this soccer academy. We help kids, from 5 years old to 15 years old with soccer, any level, any gender, doesn't matter, whatever. Click here to learn more and sign up. And then what happens is, when they click on your ad, you're sending them to your third-party registration system where they have to create an account and put their credit card to sign up. When you're doing something like that, this is a huge mistake, by the way, guys, because when you're doing something like that, you are basically ignoring one of the main things about marketing, which is your middle of the funnel. It's not because someone saw your ad that they're going to click on it, get their credit card out of their wallets, and purchase right away. At least the majority of people won't do that. You're still going to have, in any given market, any industry, anything that you're trying to sell, there's always going to be a small percentage of people that are willing to buy because they're already problem aware and they're already solution aware. So I believe it's about 3% of any given market. It's always ready to buy. But the problem of only relying on those people is that those 3%, the top 3% of your market, is the same percentage, which is super small, that every single other private coaching business or soccer academy in your region is going after. So if you really want to go through a broader market, you have to go after people that are not necessarily solution aware or even sometimes problem aware. So how do we do this? We have to widen up our funnel. We're not trying to get them to convert right away. Guys, I want you to remember that we call it a sales funnel, right? Or a marketing funnel, because it has a wide top and a narrow bottom. And you lose people along the way, and that's natural, right? You can't expect 100% of the people that see your ad to purchase from you. But the thing is, when you're sending someone from an ad, which is usually a cold audience, right? So when you run an ad on Facebook, on Instagram, or pretty much any platforms, you're reaching an audience that not necessarily have seen you before. They don't trust you. You can't expect them to click, create an account, and purchase from you without talking to someone first, without asking questions first, without doing the research first, because you're just skipping your entire middle of the funnel, which is a process in your marketing strategy where you should be nurturing your leads and building trust with them so they end up becoming your customer later on. So what is the easiest way to get someone in the door to remove that friction from your sales process? What I always recommend is having something that we call a high converting event. Now, a high converting event might differ a little bit depending on the way you structure your program. So I want to say that for 75 to 80% of the soccer programs that I've seen, the easiest one to implement will be some sort of free trial class, a free introduction class, or a free evaluation. This way, you're getting a new potential customer to actually join you in person at your field or at your facility. You're providing them with value, and you're still having a opportunity to have a one-on-one conversation in person with them. This is the best case scenario if you want to close the most people. You got to think that people purchase your products or your services because they believe that they will get value out of it, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't be purchasing. What is the best way to make them perceive that your program will give them value? By providing value to them before they even become a customer. It's that simple. If you provide them a bunch of value before they become a customer, they will say, oh my God, this is so nice. I want this ongoing. And they're going to become a customer. And a lot of the soccer programs out there, they've tried, a free trial class or something like that before and say, oh, it doesn't work for me because they only attract tire kickers, or people coming for the free class, but they never become customers. Most of the times, it's not because of the leads, it's because of your sales process, because you don't have a structured and intentional way of turning those prospects that come into your field into actual paying customer. You're not asking the right questions. You're not asking them to do the right things, the retraining, the parents, and you're not having their conversation and being able to handle objections they bring to you after the trial class is over to actually convert them into a paying customer. So put a little bit of responsibility on yourself. If you have tried before and didn't work, watch my other videos where I go more in depth about what to do when people come into your field, how to ask the right questions to get people to convert. Now, for you guys, for example, you're private coaches, or first you're starting out and you don't want to necessarily to rent a field just to have a free trial class that might not even show up, you never know. One of the things you can do is a paid trial class, which I don't recommend because you're adding friction. Remember that if you want to get the most people in your field, you have to remove the friction. It's super easy for a prospective customer, to a parent in your location, to say yes to a free trial class to go test it out because they don't have any risk associated. You're basically getting all of the risk on your own, right, of getting them to come into your facility or to your field and training them for free for 30 minutes or for 45 minutes. It doesn't really matter. So on their end, they don't have risk. So they're way more susceptible to say yes. Then when you say, hey, it's a paid trial class and it's $25, it's $30, it's $50, it doesn't matter. Now you're adding a little bit of friction because you're going to have some people that say, oh, I don't know if I want to pay to try something because I might not like it. So you're adding more risk on their side, right? So you're adding more friction. Consequently, going to get less people to sign up, but you most likely will get some more people that are more serious and have a little more intent because they're actually paying for that trial class. And then on the other hand, you can do something where you're not having a trial class at all. You can do some sort of phone consultation. So they're scheduling a phone consultation. You talk to them over the phone. You try to provide as much value as you can, and then you get them to sign up right there on the phone. It's much harder. So it's much easier to get someone to come into the field for free. It's a little harder to get someone to pay for a trial class, and then it's even harder to get someone to actually close with you over the phone before they experience some value. I'm not saying that any of those are impossible, but if you're just starting out or if you're stuck, right, if you're struggling to grow your business and get new clients, I would highly suggest you to go with the less friction way of getting new customers. Okay, so now that we covered how you acquire new customers, how you get new people in the door, let's talk about how do you make them worth more. Okay, I want you to always remember that when you're advertising your business, when you're marketing your business, what you're doing is you're paying to acquire new customers. So when I go to Facebook or Instagram and I put $100 or let's say $1,000 in ads, and I do that for a month. So I put $1,000 for a month worth of ads, and I was able to generate 10 clients from those $1,000, right? I basically paid $100, which is 1,000 divided by 10 clients. I paid $100 to acquire each one of those clients, right? So at the end of the day, that's what it is. You're purchasing clients. That's what marketing is. Now, your goal with good marketing is you pay less for your customers, and with bad marketing, you end up paying more for customers. So you just have, but that's a whole other conversation that I'm going to leave for a different video. What I'm trying to say here is that for any given marketing strategy, there's a cost per acquisition that is associated to getting that new client. Now, what the game of business now is, how can you make that client or that customer worth more to your business than how much you pay to acquire them? So for example, if I paid $100 to acquire them, but they're only paying me $50, that means that I'm actually losing $50 from my acquisition. So I'm in a loss already, but I still have to put in the time to get them to come to the field and coach them. I still have to rent field, get the equipment. So I'm incurring other costs to actually fulfill that customer as well. So you're losing a lot of money there. So you don't want to do something like that. You always want to make sure that your customers are worth much more to your business. So big mistake that people make here sometimes is they only look at the first transaction. So for example, like I said here, oh, they're only worth $50 because that's how much they pay me in the first transaction, for example. Well, when you look at that lens, you are not considering that that customer that paid you $50 in your first transaction might come back, might do other sessions, might do 3 months worth of training with you, might do 6 months worth of training with you. So we always have to look at what we call the customer lifetime value, which is how much is that customer is going to bring in revenue during the next 6, 12 months, 2 years. It really depends. The way you want to calculate that is to get your customer lifetime value, you want to get how much revenue generated per customer over their lifetime. And you want to divide by the number of months that they stay with you, for example. So you'll get a little bit of more understanding about that. But the idea is, for example, if I charge $100 a month and they stay, every customer in average, based on my customer base, my data that I can look at, stays with me for 6 months, I know that a customer is actually worth to my business around $600 because that's 6 months times $100. I always look at that because when you're paying to acquire customers, when you're marketing, you only acquire the customer once, but if they stay with you multiple months, you have to take that revenue, that lifetime revenue in consideration. Okay, so if I paid $100 to acquire a customer, but they're worth $600 to me, that's still a good deal because then it means that I have $500 left to fulfill the services, pay my use the gross margins to contribute to my fixed costs and still get profits at the end. Okay, that's kind of the idea here. So always look at the customer lifetime value. Never look at the how much is it worth in the first transaction, how much cash I collected in the first sale that I made to them. And another big mistake that people make when it comes to making their customers worth more is that they don't offer some sort of membership. They have what I call a finite product. So for example, if you're a private coach and you're charging per session or per hour, or even if you're selling a pack of 8 sessions or 10 sessions, whatever you're selling to them is going to end in a very short period of time, like within 2 months, most likely. And then what's going to happen is at the end of that period, you're going to have to call and text and sell to the same customer once again and once again and once again. So for example, if you're a private coaching business, you're starting out, you probably know that. And you charge, let's say, $50 per session. And they pay you at the end of every session. You're most likely every single week calling and texting the same customers they already sold a bunch of times to fill out your calendar for this week. And that's just a hassle because now you're using all of that time that you could be using to get new customers, and you're trying to sell to the same ones because they are not committed to a certain schedule with you. They come and go as they kind of want, as they can. So my recommendation is switching that model of selling per hour or per session, or even selling packs, to a membership model. Another super common one here is like those 8 or 10-week programs, right? You sell, hey, this is a 8-week program. This is a 10-week program. They pay you, they participate from that 10-week program, the 8-week program. But at the end, you're basically letting the sales cycle end. You're giving them opportunity to go away because it ended. Now they can say no, you're going to have to try to sell them again, and you have a big chance they're going to say no. You're giving them that way out. So if you really want to extend how many months or how much time in general your customers stay with you, I'd highly suggest you switching to a membership model where you have to sell them once. It's a recurring charge directly on their credit card, where you don't have to do it every time it comes in. It goes automatically, billed every, first of the month, last of the month, directly on their credit card. And they stick with you for longer because there's no necessarily, it's not a finite program. It doesn't have an ending. They can cancel. Yes, they absolutely can. Some people are going to cancel in the first month. Some people might cancel in the second month. And some people might cancel 2 years from now. You never know. But it just makes it so much easier for you, because if you have a membership product, you can have 1 to 3 different price points, right? You can have 1 to 3 different programs. And now you don't have to worry about charging this customer this amount and this customer this amount and having all of that billing hassle that you might have right now, right? So if it's ongoing membership model, so much easier to manage, and it also increases how much a customer is worth to you because they stay with you. You're not ending the sales cycle. Another tip here is if you have a membership model, I recommend you doing something where you want to make sure that they stay with you for at least 2 to 3 months. So you can do either a contract and say, hey, if you want to, train with us, you're going to have to stay for at least 3 months. And that's because we can't really improve your kids' results in less time than 90 days. And we only want committed people. Or what you can do is, which is less friction, again, for them to say yes to you, is, hey, this is a membership program. It's almost like a gym membership. You pay monthly and you can actually cancel at any time, but you will just have to give me a 30-day notice. So when you're doing that and you're aligning that expectation from the beginning, when they're signing up, before they actually pay you and sign up, you're saying, hey, you're going to stay with me for minimum of 2 months, because if they want to stay for 1 month, they will have to sign up today and they will have to cancel today. But if someone is trying to sign up and cancel today, why would you take them as a customer in the first place? It would be a very specific case. I don't know, they're traveling, they're in town just for a month. Maybe you take them. But when you're doing that, you're automatically turning that customer into 2 months worth of training automatically by just making that one change. Although as you grow and your program gets, reviews, social proof, I would recommend you having a minimum amount of months they would stay. But again, you're causing more friction. So if you're stuck in the beginning, you want to make it easier for people to say yes. And the easiest way is say, hey, it's a membership program, month to month, can cancel anytime. You just got to give me a 30-day notice, right? Something like that. Another thing that I would like to add here is when you're just first starting out and don't have a lot of people in your customer base, like you don't have a lot of athletes that you actually train, I would avoid doing events like camps and clinics, especially for like outside people. So after spending literally hundreds of thousands of dollars in Facebook and Instagram ads for soccer academies and private coaching business, what I can tell you is that it's so much easier to get new people in the door for a free trial class, even sometimes a paid trial class, than to get them to sign up for a paid event like a camp or a clinic. Camps and clinics might work for you when you're dealing with warmer audiences, but getting cold audiences to pay for them and sign up for them is harder. It's not saying it's impossible, because with right around Thanksgiving time, right, this week, this month alone, we've promoted a bunch of Thanksgiving camps. So we got one of our clients 60 registrations for their Thanksgiving camp, selling out all the spots in the camp. And that's totally possible. But I can tell you, it was much harder for us to set up the right funnel and the ads and the campaigns and all the entire process to get people to sign up for that, than to get them like hundreds of bookings of trial classes in the past few months. So if you're stuck, I would focus on getting new members first, offering a free trial class. And then if you are going to do some sort of camp, clinic, or any other paid event, I would use it more as an extra revenue generator to increase how much your current customers are worth. So you almost market your camp, your clinic internally. So you make sure that every one of your members is coming to that camp and clinic. And of course, you want to open for new people if they want to come. You never have to, you don't want to turn that down, but you don't necessarily want to get all of your marketing spend, all of your ad spend, and focus on the camp seasonally, because you're way more likely to get new people in the door when you're offering, like I said, the high converting event like a free trial class, a paid trial class, or a phone conversion, right? So guys, that's kind of the video here. If you have any questions, feel free to please put it on the comment. I'm also going to leave a link in the description. If you want to work one-on-one with me and my team, we can actually come into your soccer academy. We can help you establish the right offer, the right business model. And on top of that, we can run your ads for you. We can build you a marketing and sales system that generate leads on autopilot for you, book your trial classes for you on autopilot. All you have to do is receive new families on your soccer field in your soccer facility and get them to close into your program. Okay, so I'll leave the link in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next video.